Good morning, healthcare heroes. Good morning to our Lee Health employees and to people in our community. And it is Tuesday. I have to think of that for a second. Welcome to Healthcare Heroes Self-Care Moment. My name is Nicole Traum, and I'm here on behalf of Lee Health to give some inspiration, to bring some movement, some breath, some mindfulness. So we're going to continue with our theme this week of being able to find comfort in times of uncertainty, which this is obviously a time of uncertainty, but honestly, all the times of our lives are filled with uncertainty in a lot of ways, right? I think we think in some way that we've got control, or we know what's going to happen, but that's maybe it works for us and maybe it doesn't. And really part of our life's work is being able to kind of roll with it, to be okay with those times of uncertainty. So we'll consider that as we move. I'm going to tell you guys a funny story about my daughter, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about being able to be in those uncertain times, especially in a place of meditation or mindfulness. So let's start with some movement here as you move. So I'll tell you, some of you guys that are watching probably do know my daughter, Mackenzie. She's 6 now. But even when she was like 2.5, she would, if we saw butterflies, it's another butterfly story. I swear that's not the only thing that we were into at our house. But keep moving your body here. As she would see a butterfly, she would go outside and she'd stand there and she'd just put her finger up like this. And she'd stand really still. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, Mac, what are you doing? And she's like, butterfly, butterfly. And she was convinced that if she stood extra still, that this butterfly would come and land on her. And sometimes it would fly close to her. It never really landed on her, but that would just excite her that it got close. Change your direction here. And I mean, she still does it to this day. I was walking back this morning from my run walk, and I don't know, I guess I just remembered it as I walked back towards my yard, and I thought, wow, that's trust, that's sweetness. And that's really what I wanted to talk about today, is trusting yourself, trusting the universe, being able to kind of have that childlike mindset too. So then come out in and roll your shoulders back as you inhale, exhale as you round. We lose that childlike mindset as we get older, right? Maybe we get a little cynical, a little cranky. We've got a lot of responsibilities. But it takes away from that place of really being able to trust. Let's add our arms now, bringing your elbows up, shoulders back, and then rounding forward. And just feeling yourself breathe. So even here as we move, we get to trust our body and our breath. We get to trust ourselves, taking action in the here and now. So I'm just moving nice and slow. 2 more times. And then come on out and roll your shoulders back. And you can sit up nice and tall and see if you can bring your right leg in. So you're going to sit up tall as you hug that knee in, and just breathe. Just feel yourself lengthening. Let yourself trust the sensations that come up too. So maybe you're feeling that your hips a little tight. Maybe you're feeling your back's a little tight. So breathe into it, lengthen your spine. And then take your hands behind your leg and see if you can just start to straighten it. So you're going to sit up tall, straightening that leg out in front of you, holding on behind your leg. You can bend and straighten it a few times. Just feeling the back of your leg stretch. My knee is crackling. And then one more time, just bending and straightening. Good. And then come on out. And let's try the other side now. So hugging your left knee in, just sitting up tall, breathing nice and full, nice and deep. Giving yourself a couple of rounds of breath here. Noticing all those sensations. So practicing that place of trust. When things are uncertain, we have ourselves, right? We have our breath, we have our thoughts, we have that connection, and we have to cultivate that in some way. So bring your hands back behind your leg and see if you can start to straighten the leg and bend it in. Straighten and bend it. Just feeling the back of the leg, lengthening. You can sit up nice and tall. And then hold it there as you sit tall, lengthening. Good. My little toes peeking up on the bottom of the camera. Take one more deep breath here. Good. And then as you come on out, just come back and just start to sit up tall. Inhale as you sit up, and exhale, just start to come forward, stretching into your low back. Inhale and exhale, lifting up and then reaching forward. So a really gentle stretch here into your low back, feeling yourself breathe, letting yourself be open to receiving. So I thought about this, you know, how Mackenzie would just stand there with her finger out waiting for a butterfly, and I thought, you know, we're all so impatient. I know every conversation I have is like, when is everything going to open up? Is there going to be summer camp? Are they actually going to go back to school? We don't know, right? These are the things that we want to know because in some way we think it's going to calm ourselves. It's going to calm our mind. And practicing patience and kindness is not always the thing that we want to default to, right? But it does start to slow things down for us. So as you come forward now, reach your arms back. You can lift them up. Bring your head down a little and just stretch up and back. Good. Take another deep breath here. Just a big stretch into the back body. And then come all the way out and roll your shoulders onto your back. Good. We're going to cross our right leg over the left and then bring our arms in, cross your right arm underneath. So you can do a hug. Let's all do a hug actually. Just because, you know, it's still something I miss, right? Hugging my friends, having that proximity to people. As you hug yourself here, you can breathe into your back body, squeeze your legs in, and then you can inhale and lift your elbows. Exhale and come forward and bring those elbows down towards your knees. So inhaling, lifting up, exhaling as you hinge forward. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do two more like that. Just feeling that stretch. Keep squeezing your legs in. Squeezing the arms and the shoulders. Last one. Good. And then as you come out, uncross your legs. Stretch out your arms. Take a big stretch here, reaching the arms back. And then slowly turn your head. My head just popped. My neck just popped a little bit. Breathing into the upper corners of your chest, into that spot behind your shoulders. One more time to each side. And then come on out. Good. And then from there, you're going to cross your left leg over your right, and you could hug the legs in and take your left arm underneath the right. So come into that bear hug, squeezing in, breathing as you sit tall. Imagine you're giving someone you really love that maybe is kind of far away. You're giving them a really good embrace. And then inhale as you lift your elbows, lift your chin. Exhale as you round forward and bow in. So just lifting up and bowing in, letting yourself trust the process here. Trust the movement, trust your breath, trust all the sensations that come up. So when you feel tight, bring your breath there. Let's do two more like that. Good, last one. And then as you come on out, you can uncross your legs, stretch out the arms, bring them back a little towards the back plane of your body, and then again, move your head side to side. So just a slow, steady movement here. You're feeling your shoulders and your neck do a little crackling. Two more deep breaths. Last round. Good. And then come on back and roll your shoulders back one more time. So we've got one more big stretch here, and that's called thread the needle. So with your hands on your knees, you can kind of scoot. Well, you probably want to scoot forward if your chair has arms. We're going to inhale the left arm up. So you're going to open up to the left, and then take your arm, slide it through as you bring your left shoulder down. So we're going to inhale and open up. You could do this at your desk. You can also do it just on the floor on hands and knees, or you can do it in your chair. Inhale and exhale, threading through, bringing that left shoulder towards your left knee. Two more. Good. This next time as you come through, we're gonna hold it there. So just coming in, letting your shoulder come down towards your knee, feeling yourself twisting. See, I'm turning my head towards the right. Just breathing nice and full. Take another deep breath here. You can even press this right shoulder onto your back and then come all the way out. All right, and then we'll do the opposite side. So with your hands on your knees, inhale your right arm open to the right, and then exhale, slide it through as you hinge forward, bringing your right elbow or right shoulder to the right knee. Inhale, lifting it up. Exhale, sliding it through. Good, nice and slow here. Big inhale, opening up to the side. Exhale as you thread yourself through. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Good, this next time as you come through, you're gonna hold it there, okay? So as you slide through, then bring that right shoulder down towards your right knee. Press into your left hand and let that left shoulder come onto your back. And just let yourself breathe and trust. This practice of mindfulness, of movement, is really about trusting ourselves, trusting our own instincts and our breath, getting more comfortable in our skin. Good, come all the way out and then roll your shoulders back. Ooh, lots of crackles. All right, so now we're gonna do a little meditation, and I wanted to tell you the other part of the story. So that kind of reminds me of this story. So I have one tattoo on my body, and it is this bird right here. And little backstory, I grew up with a biker dad who was covered in tattoos. Everyone that came to our house was covered in tattoos. So for me to get a tattoo, I could have gotten one whenever I wanted, never was gonna get one. But when my dad passed away, I decided to honor him and get this one because it was one that he had. And as I was considering the bird, and I was thinking of that, I had gone to a training, and my teacher had us meditate, and he said, I want you to meditate, I want you to sit comfortably and just bring your hands to your knees or to your lap and turn your palms up. So you can do that here. And when we turn our palms up, we take this posture of receiving, right? Maybe we're feeling like, no, we don't want to receive anything else right now. But we want to open ourselves up to the posture of receiving something good, something sweet. So as you close your eyes, you can sit up nice and tall and just begin to allow yourself to be open to that process of receiving. Start to notice your breath moving in and out. So my teacher started to tell this story about how when we are just living our lives, whether we're meditating or whatever we're doing, that we need to keep our hands open, our hearts open. And when we keep our palms open like this, you can imagine that maybe at some point a little bird could land right there in your palm. Imagine the sweetness of that. How it might make you feel. And the practice is not to have that bird land there and just grab onto it, right? Because it's delicate, it's gentle. It can be crushed easily. The practice is to allow the bird to just be there. To observe it, to appreciate it, to be softened by it. And to know that we don't have control over whether it lands or how long it stays or if it flies away, if it'll ever come back. But that's okay, because another bird could land there, and another, and another. So allow yourself here to sit with the palms open, with your heart open. There is uncertainty in everything that we do. In how we live our lives, how we breathe, how we interact, and yet we still can remain open follow your breath here in through your nose, out through your nose or your mouth. Allowing yourself to be open to that process, to the receiving, to not gripping onto whatever you can, but more trusting. Being surprised every once in a while by the goodness that lands near you or even in your palm. Take a few more rounds of breath here, just slowly inhaling and slowly exhaling. And then on your next inhale, you can start to blink your eyes open and maybe bring a little movement to your fingers and your toes. Just slowly coming back. It's a good practice to try when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel like maybe you're just trying to grip onto everything in your life. So hopefully that just gives you that sense of peace, that sense of trust. And just remember that throughout the day. You can even just kind of sit with one hand open, even if it's just at your desk or while you're sitting homeschooling your kid, whatever it is, to remember to keep that open hand, that open heart, all right? So have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Nicole Traum with Healthcare Heroes Self-Care Moment. I'll be back tomorrow at 6:40. See you soon. Bye.